Let's bring in Joshua Ritter, a criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor. He joins us from outside the courthouse in Boise as well. Joshua, great to have you on the show. It's interesting there because you had the Mogan family saying, yes, they agreed to this plea deal. But you had the Gonsalves family and the Kernodle family saying, no, they wanted to see Bryan Kohberger go before a jury. Are you surprised when the judge was surprised? Did you think, well, it's kind of surprising to me that the judge was not even privy to this?
I was shocked. I think everybody was shocked. I am surprised that the judge wasn't more aware of it. It does seem like this just came out of the blue for everyone involved. And, you know, our hearts go out to the family members. Everybody's going to grieve differently. Everybody's going to react to this differently. You know, I cannot imagine the pain that they are going through. I will tell you, as a prosecutor, this is one of the most difficult parts of the job, having to sit down with the family members of victims and explain to them that we feel that it's in the best interest to enter into a plea agreement, because that usually involves doing something less than the maximum. And whenever you're explaining to victims' family members that you're going to ask for less than the maximum from the person that took away their loved one, that's hard for them to accept, as it was with the Gonsalves family here. By end of the day, this is a very good resolution for the prosecution, for the government, because it eliminates the chance of appeal. And I cannot understate how huge of an advantage that is.
And I get that part, and you had the prosecution coming out saying, listen, we were just trying to avoid putting the family through this, but nobody asked the family. There was no consultation to say, we're going to do this, what do you think? And so that's what the families are really annoyed about, is the fact that this thing went forward without their permission or consideration.
And if that's true, that is unacceptable. The family's consideration should have been a huge part of all of this. I am shocked if the families were not aware that this was even something that they were thinking about. If they were honestly just sent a letter through an email moments before we all heard about it publicly, then that is really unforgivable. I mean, they are such a part of this, and to not bring them along with the journey, even if they don't agree with it, to me is something that it should have been avoided, and is a real shame if that's what took place here.
I want to put this on the screen if I can, Joshua. This is the evidence against Kohberger. DNA on knife sheath found at the scene, a vehicle spotted at the scene, cell phone pinged near the scene, roommate's description of the perpetrator. Did they have enough? Is there any question in your mind that the prosecution's case here was strong enough, and maybe that's why, or not strong enough, and maybe that's what kind of prompted this plea deal?
No, I think the prosecution's case was strong enough. We heard the entire case this morning from the prosecution's mouth, what they intended to prove. They read it like it was an opening statement, and I think it was enough evidence to reach the standard of beyond a reasonable doubt. Here's the thing, though. We all know this. Things can go sideways during a trial. Jurors can view things differently. This could have easily ended up with a hung jury, a deadlock jury. Worse yet, you could have had a jury that acquitted him, against all people's beliefs. And the other thing I think to consider, too, is even if they had convicted him, it's no guarantee they would have given him the death penalty. So this is a good result.
Joshua Ritter outside the courthouse.